Well, hello and welcome, everybody. We're the Shills, a group of YouTube creators and debunkers coming together for live roundtable chats, live debunks, guests, interviews, and much, much more. And tonight we've got killer guests indeed, as we welcome both GeoStreber and Steve McRae to the show. So let's get around the table and see who we got here and what they're up to. Anti-Flatter, what's going on in the future, man? How you doing today?
Kia ora, bro, and hello to everyone. Everyone's going all right today. Had my latest video come out yesterday. Apologies to everyone. It did not have Yuri in it. He's still drunk from the other day.
A lingering effect from a certain activity he was watching that day.
I don't want to get into the details of his private life. That's eye bleach material.
Well, awesome video indeed, man. Cool. Right on. And let's turn to Jutmonkthedrunk Monkey. How you doing today, buddy? Oh, have we lost him? Uh-oh. We might have to go to DeadKennedyInSpace. Kevin Kennedy, I think you're there. Oh, there he is. All right. He's good. How's it going, Monk?
Absolute plum. You know I'm going to come. I'm fucking listening. It's just I can't get through because the phone's slow as fuck. I can't just unmute instantly. It should hear my name, Jutmonk, and bow down and unmute for me.
So how are things your way, man? What's happening?
Oh, not a lot, man. I just want to say hello to all the wonderful people here. I love being here. I love it. I love all you people watching, you know, the people I work with, all you wonderful people that follow us, and those whose intellect is impossible to underestimate. You know what I mean? Those who, if they had some kind of single intelligent thought between them, it would have fucking died of loneliness. Those dumb as fuck, globe-denying, backward-thinking, simple-minded simpletons that bore us together. Hello, all.
Well, I think we know where he's coming from. And let's now turn to Kevin Kennedy himself. DeadKennedyInSpace. How's it going, buddy?
It's not going too bad. If anybody's seen the most recent video on my channel, I got trolled by what I thought was a flat earther, and it turned into a very funny mirror video. So I'd recommend checking that out. That was a lot of fun. And aside from that, I have very little going on because I'm just kind of poking the corpse of flat Earth with a stick at this point, and it's not budging very much.
Yeah, it is kind of laying there looking bad, I have to agree. How about we go over to Cave Town and see what Logical Troglodyte's up to, man? How's things?
You know what? I'm not entirely sure. I got locked in the cellar a couple of days ago, and I finally chipped my way through all of that stone wall to get out. Nobody's admitting it, but I'm pretty sure Shaggy did it, trying to take over once again, little bastard.
Yeah, that was a really good episode, though. He seems to know what he's doing.
And you know what? For not being the sharpest crayon in the box, yeah, he did pretty good. I'll give him that. But you know, I just wish he quit trying to take over. I mean, you know, this isn't the Iron Throne we're going for here.
I know how you feel with those old videos, man. I always find plenty of vodka keeps them at bay.
That's a good one. Oh, right on, man. Right on. We should turn to the Sarcastic Barman. How are you doing, man?
I'm all good, thanks, mate. How's you doing? Everything all right your end? Because no one's asked you.
Yeah, absolutely. Caught up in life. Things are rolling along good. You know, what's cool in your world of the flurf and the video and all things YouTube?
We've got a multi-part flurf video coming out on Wednesday, and I've spent the day moaning at BT about my internet, so expect me probably to drop out anytime in the next 10 minutes when they get fed up with me.
Oh, we're praying it doesn't happen, man. Yeah. And hopefully if you just get on them enough, maybe you can finally get that improvement. Oh, wouldn't that be great?
Oh, I would kill for fiber at this point. I would literally kill a flurfer for it.
Too good. And then Steaming Cup of Reason. How's things your way, man? Life good?
Oh yeah, life's all right, man. The damn cold is back. God damn it.
Oh.
I got over that bitch about a month ago, and I had a good week, and now son of a bitch is back. But I'm good,
Oh, I
man.
hate
I'm
that.
good.
Oh.
I hate that too, man. Yeah, I'm all right. Oh, and I just noticed in the green room, Kiri wants us to pass on to everybody. Yesterday was Flatter's birthday. Hey, happy birthday, Flatter.
Oh, well, a big
Yeah.
happy birthday to Andy Flatter. All right.
We've locked him in.
Very-
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
We got a disco monkey, man. That's awesome.
It's awesome. It's awesome. I love it.
Oh,
Note to
right
self,
on.
Don't tell Kiri anything.
Right on. Yeah, we'll bring that up again after too. And our producer Tatty, how you doing today, buddy? What's shaking your way?
Oh, we're doing good today, man. Doing good today. The whiskey is flowing, and the videos are wonderful. This is going to be a fantastic show, troops. So pin back your ears, sit down, relax, and enjoy.
Awesome. Love it. Love it. And Aimee Hogan's got, the helm, the steering wheel, whatever we say here today. Aimee, how's it going your way?
It's going great, thank you. How is everybody tonight?
I think around the table that
Absolutely
went really well.
Fucking awesome.
Awesome. And thank you, Steve and GeoStreber, for coming tonight. And thank you, everybody, for coming.
Awesome. Right on. And speaking of them, let's get to them. GeoStreber himself. How's it going, buddy? Thanks for coming back to our show.
Hi, sure thing. I'm fine so far. And you guys might have known that I had severe computer problems in the last few weeks. Those have been resolved. So basically, I'm back, bitches.
Awesome. I saw the stream where you just got it all together, and it looked like you've got a nice system rocking now, man. I'm happy for
yes.
you. Right on.
Yes, that was so over the fucking due.
Yeah, right on. And let's bring in our second guest for the night, the one and only Steve McRae. How are you, man? Thanks for coming.
I was obliged to. I guess last time I said I was going to return, so it was obligatory. I'm second to GeoStreber. Okay. That's good. That's good. No, kidding. GeoStreber, how are you, buddy? It's been a while since we were on the same stream.
Actually, it wasn't. We were on the same stream like last week.
Whatever, man.
Regarding the entire FD core situation.
I miss you. Shut up. We need no more streams. Hi, everyone.
Yo.
By the way, Steve, is this collaboration stream of ours already announced publicly?
I maybe.
I don't know. Should we announce it?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so basically, we're gonna do another analysis, I guess, hangout, talking about Riley's thesis in a few days. The exact date isn't known yet, but it will be the two of us, Steve and I, and Dr. Misha Griffith.
I think we settled on the 23rd.
Yeah, but you said that you don't know whether she has it corrected by then.
I'll find out tomorrow.
Okay. Whatever, I'm flexible in timing, so.
Cool.
Doesn't really matter to me when we do this.
Right on,
That's gonna be
guys.
awesome.
Awesome. Yeah. Now, we've got ourselves a couple of videos queued up here. And, oh, wait a minute. I'm here in the security system. Let's check the TV in the back here, guys. Let's see what's going on. Oh, zooming in. We've got ourselves intruder for sure. Oh, somebody's trying to get by the door. It's Scotty Storm. Oh, security's got him. It's fine. No worries. Here we go. Ah, there we go. Job done.
Oh, I was
Awesome.
hoping you was going
Awesome.
to cage him
We
up
took
so
care
that
of
I
that.
could throw poo at him.
He didn't catch
Damn.
Okay, yeah. So security system's working good. Excellent. We don't have anything to worry about while we're hanging out. So, yeah, we've got ourselves a few videos queued up that we can have a look at and have a little tear into. Everybody into that? Let's play.
Fucking oath.
Let's do it, man.
All right. Now, if I can figure out what I'm doing in the background here, we've got a video. And this guy, he's a real wonder of, the modern day and age. This is demonstrating 3 types of motion. So this should be good. Tatty, let that rock and we'll see what we've got here.
Here we go, folks.
I want to make this video about motion and distances and scale, which is what a lot of you guys are hung up on. So I'm going to demonstrate 3 different types of motions and also show how things move relative to those different types of motions. So first of all, there's just a lateral motion, side to side. This is what you see like when you're driving in a car in a straight line. Whatever is close to you is going to pass by at like the same speed you're passing, and whatever is further is going to appear to move less and less relative to you. So you look way out far and see the mountains, they don't hardly move at all. That happens when you're traveling down the road in a straight line. And in that type of motion, distance is relevant. Okay, now another type of motion is a circling motion. So if I'm circling like...
Yeah.
Why? Why
God
the
for
fuck
that.
did you pause that?
I just like you know that face a dog makes when you say something really confusing to them and they just tilt their head and stare at you. That's me right now. I'm just staring at my monitor like that. I'm like, what is the point of it?
Do you know what, right? I mean, I don't know. For me, right, it's almost like he's had a fucking great big bong with a massive fat chunk of weed, right? He sat and thought about this, and then he thought, I know, I'm going to make a video. And now he's just stuck his phone down on the couch, and he's just doing that, and he's lost, and he's trying to make it up as he goes along, and it's absolute fucking underwear.
No, I disagree with this. Weed doesn't do that to a person. What that is, I think that's the fucking fermentation gases on the toilet where he's filming this.
Or maybe he's just done himself a lobotomy because he had a headache and he thought, oh, I know I can get rid of that. I'll just stick
that's
a
impossible.
sword into my ear.
I think
You
I
need
do
brain to get lobotomized.
What is he trying to explain here? I'm not quite grasping at all what he's even trying to get at.
Well, he's starting an explanation of basic physics, except he doesn't even know the terminology. It's not lateral motion, it's linear motion.
Linear, you have linear, you have reciprocal, you have oscillatory, you have
periodic,
periodic would be oscillating, but what is? I don't know what he's trying to prove by that by naming off the different types of motions.
You'll see in a minute.
I'll tell you where I'd like this video to go. I'd like for you to press play and then him say another 3 words and then the fucking battery died on his phone and that's the end of the video.
I want him to do the next set of movements and then the backup dancers come in and start doing the movements with him.
Is this some sort of video response to somebody else?
Yeah, that's a good question. Is this a response video, or is that something he just did on his own?
No, this is something that he considers to be evidence of a non-rotational plane.
Oh, God.
Oh, man. Aimee Hogan's got some questions from the audience here.
Yes, I do. I have some good ones. The Snark said that wasn't Scotty. He had clothes on. Curvy New Yorker says, oh shit, this guy's a Pratt impersonator. Sable Eagle says, is the third kind a bowel motion? And then
That's legit. No, that's legit.
I like that.
Exactly. Ash Scott says, why is he tucked away in a corner somewhere and speaking at a volume that suggests he doesn't want to be overheard? And someone else said that they thought he was in a gas station.
Maybe that's cheap psychiatric clinic without rubber cells. That would explain a lot.
Yeah, coming to a theater near you, bowel motions of the third kind.
There you go.
That explains the stains everywhere.
Yeah, it definitely looks like, the kind of place somebody stops off to use heavy illicit drugs quickly and then move on, except he decided to make a video while he was there, It's not a place you just hang out. Oh, not even close. Well, what do you say there, Tatty? Should we let a little bit more roll and see how deep this could really go?
At 15 degrees per hour, and let's say I'm pointing out everything I pass. Let's say the camera is pointing out, or my eyes, or a long yardstick or whatever. As I'm turning at 15 degrees per hour, yeah, everything I pass will also appear to pass by me at 15 degrees per hour.
You spin me right.
What is he doing? He's not doing 15 degrees per hour there, is he? He's doing about 720 degrees per 2 seconds. Why is he spinning around in a circle like an absolute fairy?
I think it just makes him feel really good, man.
Yeah,
man.
man.
It's like far
If
out,
you on
man.
him, if he wants to be a ballet dancer, that's fine. Be a ballet dancer.
Let's be honest. This guy cannot.
This is going.
This guy cannot afford that the centrifugal force actually pulls more blood out of his brain.
He hasn't got a brain.
He's got blood on his brain.
Yeah, he has a brain.
No, he doesn't have a brain. He shares a sacred brain cell. And at the moment, they still can't fucking find it.
They killed it.
Dead Kennedy.
I just noticed Linda Bertelson in the chat just pointed something out that just kind of gives me pause for thought. Like, this is the fight we're engaged in, right? The fight against stupidity and ignorance. And we're watching a video of an adult man spinning around in a public bathroom.
Well, yeah, but the thing is, this guy is like drugs have to be involved, right? And I have a weird thing of going after people that their mind has been altered by drugs, right? I mean, if this guy's just your typical dumb shit that actually believes this stuff, that's one thing. This guy is completely impaired at this point.
Yes.
So it's just that debunks itself,
Yeah, at this point, the only thing you know for sure is you don't want to see him get in the car and drive himself home. It's not going to end well.
I'm sure his car will be along shortly to grab him.
Yeah, before he turned his camera on, he said to somebody in the background, "Hey, I got a good idea. Hold my beer."
Yeah, no kidding, man.
I'll hold your beer.
Don't drink the beer.
Speak, someone. Come on.
By the way,
what do you think, Tatty? Oh, go ahead.
I was literally just at a Foucault pendulum like over the weekend. I was standing at one, and at 15 degrees, is at the equator, but depending on your latitude, it will vary. But it does show without equivocation that the rotation of the Earth is if you have a plane that's in a fixed plane, like a pendulum, it's going to be going back and forth. It's going to oscillate in that fixed plane as the Earth rotates underneath it. You can see this. This is demonstrable. I mean, I don't know why these people think that there's anything more to it than that somehow proves a stationary Earth when you can actually show by using this experiment that people can do in their house. If you have enough equipment in the height, you need something really heavy in the height, like stairwell or something, but you can do it and demonstrate to yourself that the Earth actually does rotate. It is actually something that is demonstrable.
Yeah,
those pendulums are all CGI.
Yeah, basically, Steve, every time we point that out, they just go full conspiracy theory. They just say that every pendulum where this is demonstrated is either fake or manipulated in some way.
That's by Satan.
There's just no arguing with them, because no matter how well you try to explain it to them, they're just.
But that's why I think they're all dishonest to you.
Deeper.
You and I differ on this. I think that 99% of every flat earther is just a Poe.
99%
well.
no.
Do you know what?
No, Steve, that's not correct. Because there are some really fucking stupid people.
Well, that's the other 1%.
No, I think that's
Steve, do you know what?
1% plus 99% is 100%. I think that includes everybody.
Steve, can you hear me?
Go, monkey.
Yeah, sorry. I think the same. I think there's a very, very high percentage of globe-denying fucktards that actually don't truly believe it, but for one reason or another, they just want to be attached to this thing.
That's right.
And
That's
one way or
Russian
another,
vids
for
in a
different
nutshell.
reasons, they're a Poe. And then then there's some absolute idiots that just like look around and go, "No, it's not globe. It's flat. Look, it looks flat."
But those are the 1%. I mean, like Anthony Riley, I think he actually is that dumb. Straight up, he doesn't agree with this flat. I'm convinced of that.
He's just like
No doubt about it.
No doubt about it. But most of the other ones, I think that they really do just want attention.
Do you know what? With Sleeping Riley, he's really, really intelligently dumb.
That's scary.
Amy's been waiting here for a few comments and questions. Aimee, your turn.
Thank you. Yes, I have Mr. Victory. He says, LOL, is he lost in his closet? Zipostate says, is this some kind of interpretive dance video? And Chris says, is he in a jail cell? Prisoners shouldn't have phones.
That's could be
Roger Rabbit. Yes, I think so.
Let's go with that one.
Roger Rabbit said he's eaten all the paint chips and now covering the walls with poo. Sean Carroll says, you spin me right round, baby, right round, like a record, baby. Mike Bertle says, that looks like one of those bathrooms in the park, a nasty one at that. And 9 o'clock Hero says, is he in the doorway of a public toilet? Bert Rickles says, I think what he has for his mind is drifting at 15 miles per hour. And then 15 degrees per hour. And then we have a troll, it looks like. We have a Rohan that says, why don't you discuss Building 7, you ignoramuses? We seem to get them.
We only discussed building number 33.
Yeah.
That's right.
Roban, don't be a dork.
Yeah. I mean, what is that? Dead Kennedy, you wanted in there, didn't you, buddy?
I was going to point out about the troll as well. He's now saying, why don't you expose the flat earth psyop? Oh, you're part of it. I think he's one of those people who thinks that I think he's one of those people who thinks that flat earth is a conspiracy that was invented to make other conspiracies look stupid, which is more believable than flat earth in and of itself.
Yeah, that might be true.
Do you know whatever it is, it's a pile of fuck dog shit.
Yeah. Just a message to the little troll. You do realize it's Steve McRae and GeoStreber that are on the show, right? Like, you've really picked a bad place to fuck around. These guys will eat you alive, man.
Come here, little flurf. I've got something for you, and I know you'll like it.
I'm scared of us. We're so harmless and cuddly.
No, that's not true. We have means at our disposal that are far worse than being killed.
You mean like science and math and physics, intelligence,
that kind of thing?
Yeah.
Stop scaring me. Stop scaring me.
Big words that flat earthers just can't understand for some reason.
Oh, and they just hate it. Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And speaking of flat earther, should we see what else this moron's got to say here?
Yeah,
I almost forgot about him, but we should go back to the public bathroom and see what he's up to.
Sure.
Let's roll it there, Daddy.
Where the problem comes for you guys, what you're not getting. This type of rotation is not exactly what we're experiencing on Earth. What we're experiencing supposedly on the spinning Earth is this. See, there's a difference. And I'm looking again. Tell my hand it's tracking. I'm watching you because I'm choosing one spot to look at. From Earth, you're the sun. And it doesn't matter how far away the object is that you're focused on or how close it is. If this type of motion, distance is irrelevant. Scale is irrelevant. No matter how big or small that circle is, everything is going to move relative to you, appear to move relative to you, not in a constant speed, because I'm tracking. It's not a mechanical 360-degree turn like a clock going, like an arm going around a clock. It's different. It's hard to show this. I'm looking from here. This is like going from nighttime to morning. I'm tracking the sun. I'm looking here. And as I'm turning, my head is also turning to see you. So as I come away, I'm tracking for a longer time than I do when I'm coming straight across laterally. Because I'm moving away. Even though it's a small circle, you can do it with a star or the moon or something close by. It doesn't matter. It's the moon. Moon is out tonight. Where is it?
Try to get it for you. Right there. So if I just circle in a mechanical circle, everything is going 15 degrees per hour.
What?
Yeah, pause that shit right there.
Stop. Yeah.
Oh, what the fuck is this guy on, man?
You know
It's a
what, right?
mechanical circle.
He has fucking lost the plot.
Take it, man.
The guy's lost the
Oh
plot,
my god.
hasn't he? I mean, he doesn't even know what he's saying. He's spinning around in circles, fucking doorway. All he needs is a fucking tutu on his head, and not to get caught by his fucking mum.
Drugs are bad.
Okay.
Drugs are really good as long as you don't fucking need them like that, moron.
Fuck, no, I think he's been spinning around so long, he must have dislodged his brain.
He didn't have one in the first place.
Fuck.
Yeah, I want what he's having.
Yeah, man.
I don't.
Yeah, I might want to
to him.
lower the dosage a little
I just
bit.
got scotch. It ain't kicking in fast enough for this shit.
No.
Yeah, I'm fairly fluent in dipshittery, and so allow me to translate. He's actually trying to say that the Earth isn't spinning because if it were, as our bodies rotated with the planet, we would have to continuously move our heads to view the sun or the moon. And,
Which is basically which is basically what we're doing. But,
GeoStreber, you're up there, bud.
yeah, which is basically what we're doing, but much slower. He doesn't understand this.
yeah, 15 degrees an hour means absolutely nothing to this dumbass.
Yeah, also, all this flat earth nonsense, I can stand this, but filming in portrait mode, seriously, that's a new low.
The vertical vision fucks me off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this guy obviously has no idea of scale, not only size-wise, but also time-wise. But honestly, what do we expect? They are flat earthers.
Right, and I don't know if anybody else caught it, but he was also trying to make the claim that distances to the moon or stars or sun is irrelevant. Well, yeah, right. I think you need to go look up what parallax is and how that works.
Yeah. Good one, exactly, right? Because, you know,
parallax in the
that
Green
really
Lantern
helps. Oh, funny. Well, here, let's let him run again and see what happens. Let's see where we're going.
Yeah, per hour, let's say. But what's happening with us supposedly on Earth is different than that. It's the third kind of motion I showed downstairs. I'm gonna try to show it here. It's more like I'm turning, but as I'm turning, I'm tracking the moon. It's kind of hard to do it. And as I come around, you see, just now you went behind me. This is like nighttime. And then here comes morning. Morning will come like right here. You know, I don't know where the moon went now. Right there. It would be like this.
What we have here, son, is a failure to communicate.
Some men you just can't reach.
I mean, it's like, for real, man. He's just spinning in a circle, talking nonsense. He probably read an article about basic physics and the 4 types of motion. Sort of maybe understood 1 word out of 10, and then tried to explain it to you as if he were an expert. Sorry, it don't work that way.
I disagree. I don't think this guy can read at all.
Oh, no, man.
Oh, Amy's up with some questions and comments here.
Yes, I am. Sorry, I was fighting with the buzzing.
No worries.
It says, thank you. Colin says, has he got a script on top of the toilet next to him? Linda Bertelson says, now he is dancing. This is what dancers do. Is he just a Poe? And they've been talking about how he looks like, Anisetto says he looks like he's in a garage or he's behind the store with free Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I don't think that was scripted.
No.
No, that was
Burt
on the
Rickles
fly.
says he looks like exactly it was. Burt Rickles says he looks like a bored drug dealer waiting for his clients to show up. Unirate says math is fake. It was made by the Illuminati to enslave us to Satan.
How did he find out about that?
Yes. And Sable Eagle says, I'm getting the feeling we're going to hear this again in the background of a really weird 911 call on that chapter.
I feel sorry if anybody had to go take a piss while the guy was in there.
Yeah.
I mean, I deal with some crazies on the bus. I mean, at least once a week, you get somebody on the bus that you just know is not all quite there. This is that same kind of person in a bathroom. You just they think to yourself, do I really want to go that bad? Do I hold it? Do I wait? Do I say I'm the opposite gender so I can go to the opposite bathroom? Whatever. You just have to make some decisions really fast when you see that kind of person hanging out in a
Steve,
bathroom.
I'm sorry that I have to break that to you, but if you are on a bus and there's no weirdo around you in that bus,
You're the
then
weirdo.
you're the fucking weirdo.
Exactly. Oh, we had some winners. Just on our trip, we had some people on the bus that I was like, oh, okay, don't talk to this person. Please don't. And it was on Sunday, too. They're all down the Sundays, you know?
Oh, yeah. That makes a lot of sense, right? For sure. Dead Kennedy needs in here. Dead Kennedy.
Just going to go slightly off topic here and respond to our resident troll that we have today. He keeps mentioning the name Cass Sunstein. And I think his point here is that all the top flat earthers are fake because of ideas from this Cass Sunstein guy. No, what he actually said was government agencies and their allies might enter chat rooms, online social networks, or even real space groups and attempt to undermine percolating conspiracy theories by raising doubts about their factual premises. Basically, what he's saying is people will come about to discredit these arguments, not to pose as they're making these arguments. At no point did he make that argument. So you're full of shit, and you haven't even researched the person that you keep blabbing about. I just did that in about 30 seconds, by the way.
Oh, well done, man. Well done. Oh, I love it. Right on. Had we hit the end of his thing, or was he still going?
I think he's still going, but it's just more stupid.
He's still going right now. He just doesn't know the phone isn't recording anymore.
That I believe.
Down those stairs.
Yeah, let's just see. Let's make sure here, Tatty.
I'm turning the phone to track that moon. I know I'm doing a sloppy job. Now I'm doing the turn away, moving away. Nighttime. Moving forward, tracking. Turning that phone. Where'd it go? Now we're going. Oh, sheesh. In that case, the distance and scale are not relevant, guys.
Not relevant. What? I'm so.
That's it.
Well, I heard you see,
Distance
guys,
and
scale
scale
isn't
are
relevant.
irrelevant.
Yeah. Distance and scale are irrelevant.
I think he meant to say relative. Maybe. I don't know.
Well,
All I know
He
is it's
says-
spinning
like
around.
He says about relatives, man. They just get fucking excited.
All I know is I've been watching somebody spinning around for 5 minutes and he still hasn't taken a piss. My dog takes less time to make a decision than that.
What's relative right now is a helium balloon in this guy's skull because they have about the same amount inside them. That's what I'm seeing. This guy's crazy. He's awesome. Like he literally is a walking, talking drugs are bad and poster, right? You could just point kids to that and say, look, don't do heroin because this is what it does to your brain. And all you have to do is see that once and you wouldn't want to be that guy. So it might actually work. Maybe he's a scared straight program in one YouTube channel.
That's right. It's probably a really bad commercial.
Against drugs.
Yeah. This is your brain on flat Earth.
Anybody got any wrap up towards that video they'd like to throw in before we move ourselves along? I mean, I don't know what to say to that besides, addiction on display at its finest right there, folks. What do you say?
Yeah, that's just a display of the lowest end of the bell curve.
I just think his dancing would have been better had he put the background music in there.
Well, I actually answered him on this particular video, and I just mentioned, and I told him flat out, this isn't meant as an insult, just as an observation, that it is obvious that your education is lacking and that there are good opportunities for adult education. He came back with the globe Earth is just designed to keep us disconnected from God.
There we go.
Okay.
That's freaking crazy. Amy's got a few things she needs to jump in with.
Yes, I do, because they pertain to this one. Dark Knight Apologetics says, I love Google and I wish conspiracy idiots would learn how to use it correctly with critical thinking. Mike Bertelson says, at Roban, you came in here, talk shit, insult everyone, and then have the balls to be asked to let in. Yeah, that makes sense. And then John Rapp says, turning the phone while keeping it steady on the moon. Someone slap my face, please. I'm flabbergasted. And BM Furball says, this guy is the reason glue bottles have do not eat warning labels.
It's just a shame that he wasn't able to read it.
It's like you remember Grover Near and Far from Sesame Street or whatever, right? Imagine if Grover was a junkie. That's what we just watched, right? That's how bad it was.
Well, apart from the fact that he's still a better housing than this guy in the video.
Oh, yeah. Because, that stairwell he was in after, that looked like it was from one of those parking lots in the city that you just really regret having used after it's just not good.
Feel all dirty and grimy and icky.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, some of those get bad, too. Dead Kennedy.
Once I was waiting for a bus downtown. This was a few years ago. I was just waiting to go home, and it was pretty late. And this bus stop downtown just happened to be right across the street from the hospital. And this guy came up to me and asked me if he could bum a cigarette because I was having one. And I'm a nice guy, so I said, sure, yeah. And I gave him one. And he started talking and told me his whole life story about how he got some kind of injury and was prescribed morphine for it. And he took twice the recommended dose, and now he's addicted, and it's all the hospital's fault. That guy is like the equivalent to what we just watched.
Yeah.
That's actually sad.
It was sad because he seemed unstable, so I didn't want to say to him, man, maybe you shouldn't have taken twice the recommended dose because I thought he might hit me, but it was
leave some from the rest of the people, man. We got extra dosage. Give it away to a friend.
Share. Don't be hogging it all.
Right? These drug addicts these days, man, they're just so greedy.
Yeah, exactly. They don't know how to treat their friends.
Right? What happened to pass
gotta be a good
left-hand side and shit, right?
Remember,
good one, exactly.
Remember, there's no I in weed, just we. So share that shit.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that's really good, guys. Right on. Well, I think we could probably hit the second video, huh? Why not, right? Let's see what we got going on here. This is some vaccines have this in them.
Oh no! Trace amounts of formaldehyde and a little bit of mercury. Woohoo!
Yeah, this should be crazy.
Do you remember last week when Red's Rhetoric had a hangout with a guy who actually also was an anti-vaxxer, apparently?
Yeah.
He cited sodium chloride as one of the ingredients in vaccines.
Too much sodium chloride is bad for you. It can cause high blood pressure.
What a fucking moron.
It's just fucking for the very uneducated people that might be in here that don't know what sodium chloride is. It's fucking table salt. It's what you put in your fucking French fries.
Give you high blood pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I had some sodium chloride earlier when I had fish and chips.
Yeah.
I doused my fries today in sodium chloride. Yeah.
Oh my God.
What's the next thing he's gonna complain about? Dihydrogen monoxide?
Oh, I was just gonna say that to you. Damn it.
Oxygen. There's too
Oxygen
much.
causes corrosion. Dihydrogen oxide is corrosive, and it also is more like the leading cause of erosion. And by the way, more drowning victims are due to dihydrogen monoxide. That's a fact.
It's actually every single cancer cell contains dihydrogen monoxide.
It does.
It's also one of the main ingredients in car batteries.
You want to drink car battery juice? Is that it? So no, stay away from dihydrogen monoxide.
All I think is these poor so-and-sos go around absolutely paranoid by every single thing that, you know, like vaccines and, you know, chemtrails and all sorts. It must be incredibly stressful to live that life where you're worried about having a fucking glass of water.
Yeah, chemtrails is especially sad because they just don't understand that water vapor is actually a product of combusting hydrocarbons.
Yeah, but also sometimes it's coming off the wingtip, you know?
Right.
I mean,
you can cause a drop in pressure at that point, and that'll cause any kind of
basically the reduction in
water to
pressure
come out of solution.
condenses everything because it cannot. Yeah.
Water come out of the it's not really a solution, but you have an what's called oversaturation condition.
Yeah. I'm just getting the nudge that we're supposed to get to our video here, so I'm gonna do that and turn over to our producer right now. Kick it in, buddy. Is this should be insane, right? Back stuff, you know, it's crazy.
Hey guys, Enter the Stars, and apologies for not being able to go live earlier. I'm having some computer issues with Chrome, but this is a very important video. They are literally putting hemocyanin, which is blue blood from blue blood-based creatures, copper-based blood, into our immunovaccines. And it's only a matter of time before this goes into preventative vaccines. I'm going to do the best that I can to...
Blood creatures.
Okay, so I haven't actually heard that one before. That's new to me. What is that?
I absolutely know what it is.
Is it like squid blood or octopus or anything like that? Those are like, there are creatures out there, blue blood and green blood and other things like that. But
yeah, I mean, I know what hemocyanin is, but what is this claim actually about?
They're taking that kind of blood and putting it into vaccines, I guess. I don't know.
I mean, Her Royal Highness Queen Elizabeth II has got blue.
Yeah, but that's because she's a lizard.
Yeah, this is the blue. The blue for like a squid is due to high copper content, I think, isn't it?
So how?
I think so.
What causes our royal family blue blood then?
That's just what they call it.
I know.
Most of blood,
just a
most
monkey.
of blood is blue. Most of blood is blue until it's oxygenated. Right, so
that's right. It only turns red once it's exposed to the oxygen.
It's actually blue. It's just we see it as red because it's close to the surface near the skin, and that's going to be more oxygenated because it has veins.
Yeah. The way this guy's serving it up to be some dramatic. This is such an important video. I can't wait to see where he goes because he's already got nothing.
It's the most important video.
Yeah.
Crack on. Let's crack on and see what other bollocks he's got to offer.
I agree. Let's do it.
Into a palatable format that can be shared far and wide. Now, we're all aware of the depiction of the bluish black blood in some of these films. Anytime you see like an evil person, a vampire, or something like that, they depict them with this bluish black blood. Well, there's a reason behind this. This all goes back to the copper-based blood, which looks almost black. You can see this inside of squid, octopus, and other mollusks, as well as centipedes, spiders, and things like that. They contain this bluish black blood. Now, what is this all about? Well, this goes all the way back to hemocyanin. Let me show you what this is. Hemocyanin is a copper-based blood. In other words, instead of having hemoglobin...
Pause. Geo?
Hemocyanin is a copper-based blood.
Yeah, it's
just
just
think
like
about this sentence once.
It's the we have hemoglobin.
Yeah,
for
but
us.
basically it's the oxygen carrying molecule inside the blood, but it's not the blood itself.
Right.
Oh, okay, there we
So
go.
hemoglobin would be correct. Hemoglobin would just be like a very structural protein that has 4 heme molecules in it that each one has an iron core to it.
Yeah, more or less, yes. And the iron 2, I think,
the iron 2.
binds. Yeah, iron 2 binds to the oxygen and is able to transport it.
Yep.
Unfortunately,
science.
Unfortunately, it binds better to carbon monoxide and to cyanide, which is kind of bad for us if that happens.
Well, that's why when you breathe in carbon monoxide, you're going to die because
you're fucked.
Yeah, because it binds to the iron quicker than the oxygen, or better than the oxygen.
Basically, everything at that point you can do is basically put somebody in the pressure chamber with high oxygen content in the atmosphere, because that's just how you have to switch the equilibrium that is there to the side of oxygen, which can be done by just introducing much more oxygen than is naturally occurring.
Yeah, okay, right on. Amy's got some questions and comments to come in with.
Yes, I do. Sorry about that. Aniseto says, this guy is also the reason coffee lids say coffee is hot. Have you noticed that? And Conspiracy says, have you noticed that most conspiracies state it's about pulling us from God? And Dark Knight Apologetics says, I really dislike biblical flurfers. I often wonder if they realize or care that most Christians accept mainstream science. And Ugly German Truth says, I believe in many cases it's tactic to separate a cult from the rest of humanity and make them incompatible to return into society. BM Furball says, vaccines cause adultism. I agree. And Dark Knight Apologetics again says, I love drinking a big bottle of pure dihydrogen monoxide. It's delicious, especially mixed in Kool-Aid packages and sugar. And Coral Hayward says, hey, Coral Hayward says, I got my flu vaccine today. Let's watch everyone's head spin.
Yahoo.
Well, I'd like to just do a little shout out to, I like to shout a few people out every week. And tonight, Cheshire Vic, The Snark, Your Pal Al, Unirate, Surf, Sif, Linda Bertelson, Monochromatic Light Source, Jimmy, Calinan, Zip Hostate, and Burt Rickles. Go and check their channels out. Marcus Dresden and Cole Hayward. Oi, oi!
Oi.
All right. Good run, Monk.
Hey.
Awesome.
Yo, Cheshire. Yeah, girl, Cheshire. Yo, she got it going on.
Yeah, I'd like to.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Awesome. I'd like to call out. We got a super chat from John Stock, Australian $5. Penicillin vaccine has saved the lives of at least 200 million across the globe.
Well said,
John.
that
Good
man.
shout, man. Thanks, buddy, and well said. That's a
wait
good
a second.
shout.
Penicillin isn't a vaccine.
Oh.
No.
Penicillin is an antibiotic.
It's an antibiotic.
Yeah.
Nonetheless.
Yeah, but you derive the antibiotics from the penicillin, though.
Yeah, but it's not a vaccine.
Thank you very much for the super chat. That is absolutely awesome and very, very generous.
Absolutely.
Brilliant.
Awesome. Jeff, you wanted in there, buddy.
We're still calling out.
No, I just wanted to call out the super chat.
Yeah, it's not a vaccine.
Okay, cool. Right on.
Yeah.
Dead Kennedy.
Yeah, I've just been looking up a few things about what he's been talking about here, and it's difficult because all this stuff is like written in very, very medical language, and I'm trying to pay attention to the stream and read it at the same time. But from what I can tell, they are using this. I'm going to call it insect blood because that seems to be the most common kind of animal that has this type of blood. They are using it to some degree in certain vaccines against ticks. And imagine that you'd have to use parts of tick biology to defend against tick biology. I mean, that just makes perfect sense to me. So it seems as usual, there's a nugget of truth in this, but it's perfectly ordinary and there's nothing wrong with it.
Right. Makes perfect sense.
Shocker that it's completely innocuous. Yeah.
Well said. But, on the other side of things, shall we watch a bit more?
Sure. We have to.
Yeah.
Okay. Where the iron is pulling the oxygen out of the blood. The hemocyanin is copper-based, and it pulls the oxygen out of the blood as well, but it does it in a different fashion. Now, we investigated the...
Ouch.
It pulls the oxygen out of the blood? No, he's got it backwards.
Yeah.
It's literally what is keeping the oxygen inside the blood. It's what's enabling the organism to transport the oxygen to the cells where it's actually needed as a fuel. Well, oxidator, basically.
How's it going to pull it out of the blood anyway? Where's he going to put it?
Maybe it has thumbs.
Pulls the oxygen out of the blood, so the time the blood gets to your brain, you fucking swams to them. Of course. He's talking about flatards. That's why they've got no fucking brain cells that are left alive, because that happens
He's
to
got
them.
the actual explanation in front of him, and yet he gets it this wrong. Is it on purpose, or is he that stupid? You know, that's a hard question at this point.
That is
absolutely no idea.
It is a good question, because I mean, like, Flurfs constantly they read the words of Mickelson Morley, like the words from the experiment, and they still get it wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
I've seen that as well. I mean, I've seen read a lot of things where right out of the they got a paper or something like that to get some experiment, and their reading of it is completely the opposite of what the actual experiment was about or what the experiment concluded all of the time.
Yeah.
And another classic
failure,
experiment is when they do Aries failure.
Yeah, Aries failure is another example.
Yeah, and it's a failure. It's called Aries failure for a reason, you dork.
Well, they don't seem to realize that was the reason why, one of the reasons why they adopted special relativity over any kind of nefarious ether type theories. And so all these failures demonstrated basically that we didn't need ether. It was not something that needed to be included in any kind of theory. So all these different types of nefarious ethers are being promoted by Lorentz and other people. Just added more assumptions that weren't needed, and they couldn't detect it. So they went with special theory relativity because it was simpler, and it described everything we saw. That's pretty much what makes it a failure.
I love it.
Well, we got a super chat.
Oh, go for it, Monkey.
Yeah, we got John Rapp. Ooh, sorry, forgot. Something funny to say. Water tastes flat. Trust your senses, people. Loving this one. Good on you, mate. Rock and roll. Thank you very much for another $5 Australian dollars. You're very generous.
Awesome. Thanks, John. Good shout, too. Water tastes flat. Trust your senses, people. I love it. That's really good.
Banging.
Okay. Oh, and we got to get over to Aimee. She's got some comments and questions. Let's go.
Yes, please. I have Moderate Extremist says there's probably something to not giving vaccines too soon or too much, but we need them. One look at third world countries dealing with diseases we beat hundreds of years ago says it all. And the Snark says, the Snark says, in Tanzania, it's not hard to strike up a conversation and learn that the one you're talking to lost a close family member due to preventable diseases. And then Sable Eagle says, a boy in the year above mine at school couldn't walk properly or run at all because of poliomyelitis that messed up his motor neurons.
Vibrantly, blatantly. Vibrantly, blatantly. Brantley. Vibrantly, Brantley. That's it. Got there in the end. You just seem to like super chats. So here's another $2. Thank you very much.
Vibrantly Brantley. Awesome. Thank you. Very cool. Good shout. Right on. So what do you guys say? Should we kick to that video for a minute?
If you don't, I'm going to stove my own head in with a...
Tatty, save him. Let's do it.
Molecule contains the Star of David, and that most likely means something. That is important to note, that this hemocyanin blue blood molecule contains the Star of David in its image. But here's where things get interesting. It is a known pathogen. It has been determined that hemocyanin actually causes an allergic reaction to people who eat shellfish. Here it talks about hemocyanin being an allergen. These are medical studies demonstrating that hemocyanin is a clinically relevant high molecular weight shrimp allergen, possibly cross-reacting to house dust mite. So these.
Let's pause it. Hold on. Okay, first we got a super chat here. Five euros from the Snark. All right, buddy, how's it going? I like wine round on the tongue. I trust my senses there.
Yeah,
well,
man.
buddy. All right, I
Get
like
in
it.
there, the Snark. Wicked.
Yeah, good one. Now let's get back to this fucking idiot. Holy shit, that was rich, man.
I'm at a loss of the Star of David thing. At first, even correct me if I'm wrong, it said hexamer under that, right?
Yes.
So okay, so hexamer is just like any kind of polymer has 6 monomers, I guess.
Basically.
Yeah.
Not a polymer. When you talk about a hexamer, usually it's a ring structure.
A ring structure, but it's 6. Simple as that.
Yes.
So this thing that has like the Star of David, why would God put like the Star of David in like Anthropoidia blood or something? I'm a little confused. What are you trying to relate here? Because the hemocyanins are basically going to find them like in mollusk and Amphipodia clades. But so what? I mean, there's different types of blood from different types of various phylogenetic lines. I mean,
you actually missed the more stupid point here. Just because something can be an allergen.
Oh, wait, there's more.
Yes. Just because something can be an allergen doesn't mean that it's a bad thing. People can be fucking allergic to penicillin, for example.
Allergic to water, some people are. Water just means you just have a reaction to it, such that your body's going to release histamines.
Yeah, so
I think I'm allergic to his fucking idiocy.
What is his argument here, apart from the entire Star of David thing? Is it?
I don't see where he's going.
Yeah,
I think
that David thing shows some. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Fuck,
I think it's that the evil Jews, they're trying to create vaccines with the Star of David in it, so that when we get the vaccine, we become part of the evil
so this
Jew
is why
conspiracy.
I get it. This is why you had me and GeoStreber on. He's German and I'm Jewish. I see the plan here. I see.
Oh, hello, Steve.
Well, it's just like how long do you have to watch any conspiracy video before at some point or another the anti-Semitism thing comes up?
Usually,
every time.
They have a propensity for it, and I'm not quite sure why they have such a hard on for Jewish people. It's like, what we do, I don't know. My family's pretty cool. I don't know.
Yeah, you're smart.
I don't even know where it comes from.
Oh, it's crazy. Amy's got a few comments and stuff for us here.
Yes, I do. I have a couple. Gary IOW says, so blood is Jewish? Fuck me. Bert Rickle says, 2 triangles, 33? That stuff's up to no good. Barry On says, wait, the Jews invented... Oops, it scrolled up on me. Wait, the Jews invented hemocyanin? Was this before or after they arrived from space? Fuck my life. What is it with the anti-Semitism and YouTube assholes? And then
that's where my people are from. Yes, space.
Exactly. And then Ugly German True says it will turn out to be an idealized, cleaned up presentation version of a totally misshapen actual molecule, like that cell wall certain serotonin cross form. It's,
you mean lemon?
What was it called?
Lemon, I think.
Lemon, yeah, whatever it's called. Yeah, that was ridiculous.
Yeah, we got another super chat, guys.
Yeah,
TC Lucas,
guys.
TC Lucas, $2. A great philosopher once said, "Here's your sign."
Here's your sign.
Yeah, that was probably the first one ever said in a bar, right? Hey,
thanks, TC.
Yeah, thanks, man. So generous.
Awesome.
All of you guys, brilliant.
So let's cue it up and take a little bit more punishment here.
As well as shrimp, shellfish, all these creatures having blue bloods are the reason for, or part of the reason for allergens. It says here allergens from group 3 are hexameric protein homologous to arthropod hemocyanins. So I want to demonstrate to the fact that this is a known allergen, this blue blood component. Now, what is this blue blood component? This is the keyhole limpet hemocyanin, KLH for short. Now, as you can see here, this is the structure of the keyhole limpet hemocyanin. It is a pentagram, and it's helical in shape. Let's go into detail about what this keyhole limpet hemocyanin is, KLH for short. A large multi-subunit oxygen-carrying metalloprotein that is found in the hemolymph of the giant keyhole limpet, which is a mollusk. It's a species of keyhole limpet that lives off the coast of California, Monterey Bay. The properties: 2 keyhole limpet hemocyanin genes, termed KLH1 and KLH2. This is a barrel-shaped complex, which is what I showed you here. It's a barrel-shaped complex with the pentagram inside, the starfish shape. Each domain of KLH contains 2 copper atoms that bind a single oxygen molecule. The KLH protein is...
Make your fucking point.
At the end of the day now, he's just reading something and he's struggling with some of the words. So I don't know where the bloody hell he's supposed to be going with it. He doesn't even understand the words that's coming out of his own shithole that is stuck to the front of that pan on that ball that's parked on his fucking shoulders.
Basically, his entire argument here is molecule looks like pentagram, molecule bad. That's it.
Yeah. It's not even pentagram though. It's
mollusk is bad.
Yeah.
Well, this is just what happens.
Give her.
I'm sorry. This is just what happens when you ask your garbage collector for medical advice.
Yeah, exactly.
Can I just say though?
Now I know.
Take a look at the top of his screen. There's a lot of tabs open there. That's some high IQ research.
Yeah. Zipostate has just said he's obviously watched a few of his videos. That's his whole style. He just reads and emphasizes words he thinks sound spooky.
So Hans Wormhat.
Exactly.
Oh, funny. That's
or
awesome.
Nagy.
Or Nagy, yeah.
I think the bloke just went and got some drugs off the guy standing in the stairwell turning round and round.
Absolutely.
I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, Geo, but in any benzene ring, couldn't you inscribe a pentagram if you wanted?
What again?
You can inscribe a pentagram in any benzene ring. Take a benzene ring and take any point and just start drawing from one side to the other. You're gonna end up with a pentagram, won't you?
No, that only works with odd numbered rings.
Will not work for benzene?
No, I don't think so.
Let me think. Maybe not. Yeah,
you would have to use something like CP, cyclopentadiene, for example.
Okay, but it's some type of ring. You could, if it had an odd number of sides.
Yes. Basically, if it's a 5 ring, you can draw a pentagram in it.
5 ring, 8, 7 ring, 9 ring.
Whether that's useful or not, that's another question.
Yeah, I'm thinking about now. Yeah, benzene is actually an even number of sides, so 6 sides wouldn't work.
Well, I just
that's why he's a chemist. That's why he's smart.
But that has nothing to do with chemistry. That's just basic geometry.
Yeah, true enough.
Do you guys want to hear something really stupid?
Oh, yeah.
This guy that made this video has over 53,000 subscribers.
Oh my!
Humanity is utterly doomed.
Oh,
do you know what,
man?
8 subs.
I don't want to live on this planet anymore.
Let's get some comments and stuff in from Aimee here.
Yes, please. I have C4 says a wise man once said, "Never pay full price for late pizza." Roger Rabbit says I can't. Roger Rabbit says I can't stand intolerant people, and Colin says that Rabbit Warren with a substructure confirmed this guy is digging so far down he will hit the core of the planet if he continues. 9 o'clock hero says 2 jumper leads walk into a bar. Barman says, I'll serve you as long as you don't start anything. Mike Girdleston says, so take KLH, add oxygen, divide by the distance between here and the moon, and we get Christmas cards. Makes more sense than this schmuck. And then Beach 8 says, it really must suck to be that completely paranoid all the time.
Good ones. Awesome. Right on, guys. Totally good. What do you think? Should we tear into the video a bit more?
I just want to point out really quickly a very short thing. Gary Lowe said FTFE is wasting his time again with an idiot. I'll stay here. I think FTFE debates flat earthers. That's, he doesn't have much choice in the matter there.
They're all idiots.
Yeah, if you're debating flat earthers, I'm sorry to say, but you spend a lot of time in the company of idiots. There's just no other choice.
But at least, I mean, we're offering 2 different things. You got FTFE, he's debating them dumbass morons. I'm fucking laughing at them.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure he is too. I'm pretty sure he's laughing too.
Oh, sure.
2 different angles.
Morons,
Take your pick.
more moronic.
Absolutely. So what do you guys say? Speaking of morons being moronic, should we let one do its thing?
If we have to.
Let's do
Genic, but does not cause an adverse immune response in humans. It is therefore highly prized as a vaccine carrier protein. It cannot be reproduced synthetically, and it is only available as a purified biological product. So this is the actual copper component of this actual sea creature, a blue-blooded sea creature, copper-based blood. The Olympic hemocyanin KLH is using.
Yeah, stop. Go first, Geo.
Okay.
Yeah. Geo,
what this
Geo.
article actually says is that this variant of hemocyanin that is transported by or attached to this macromolecule in this one species of whatever it was, that one actually is not an allergen, which means that if you couple a vaccine to it, you can introduce it into a body via a vaccine without having the risk of having any allergic reactions to it. So it's the exact opposite of what he's saying.
Again.
Shocker.
And again, he has absolutely no idea what any of it means. He's just reading it and like ramping it up and trying to make something sound dramatic, and he doesn't even understand it.
Well, obviously he just debunked himself on his own channel by reading what it really was. But those of us with actual reading comprehension, we get it. But somehow he's got 53,000 people who don't understand.
Yeah, just think, and he thinks he's worked it out, and he doesn't realize he didn't get it at all. You didn't get it.
He missed the plot entirely,
you
man.
Dumbass! I'm surprised you could read.
It is shocking that he can read some of these. It's just not happening at all.
Well, of course, we are talking about the same guy who thinks there's a satanic message hidden within a Tostitos bag logo.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny.
And I don't know what's scarier, the fact that he can make those connections or that I watch him enough to know his other videos.
A little bit of both, I guess.
Yeah, toss up.
See, we found the hidden truth behind the logical troglodyte.
Well, you know, when you debunk stupid, you spend a lot of time watching stupid videos.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't you find that when you do watch a lot of stupid videos, it gives you a fucking headache?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's why I don't do much of it any longer. I used to. I used to kind of enjoy it, and I watch those who do, but I just can't sit there and watch a lot of these videos any longer. It just hurts too bad. I mean, I'm fine when anybody else does, and I can kind of like watch their shit, but I can't do debunking videos any longer.
Do you know what? It is hard, isn't it? I mean,
yes.
I've done my flurf rants and different things without even looking at a fucking debunk. Rarely do I actually get a video and debunk it.
Well, I like that when the
because-
person comes on. Like if I debunk one of the videos, I like to have them actually come on and give us what they were trying to go for in the video. Like I had atheist versus logic on, and there's a couple other. What's it? God's messenger? No, God's something or other. They always come on and at least try to explain what their video is trying to get at. I find that to be a little more interesting than just kind of tearing apart their video, because they're kind of self-refuting. I like to know what the hell they were thinking when they were making the video, right? I mean, like, where were you trying to go with this,
They
dude?
couldn't have been thinking.
Yeah.
Globe denying fucktards can't be thinking at all if they're actually fucking gonna spout that bollocks. It's a fantasy fairy tale world they're living in. Why they want to fucking believe in it, I don't know. But, for any of you dumb as whatever, globe denying, gormless penis faces, come on, let's face it. It's not hard to work out, Globe. It's so easy to go out there and just work it out. There's so many observations you can make, right? And
Eratosthenes did it right and easy and early.
Almost like the face palms when you talk your globe denying nonsense. That's how easy it is to prove a globe. Now get out there and fucking throw away your P1000s, your P900s. That's bollocks. Get a bloody telescope, make some fucking observations, and just work out the globe. And if you can't work it out, I'm sorry, but you're either lying to yourself, lying to everyone else, or you're just fucked.
Stephen Cup of Reason, you're in, buddy.
Yeah, I mean, these guys, they go on these channels, they put out all this friggin' crap and horror stories about the toxins and all the chemicals and vaccines, and they're missing the whole fucking point. That's what a vaccine is about. It's a way to train your body to recognize these toxins, so when the real thing comes along, your body can fight it. Am I wrong or what?
No,
that's right. That's pretty much it.
Makes sense to me.
It's like they don't understand why a parent tries to make sure that at some point their child gets chicken pox so that they don't get it as an adult and are completely unprepared for it.
Yep.
Absolutely.
Apparently, I can't say penis face on the internet.
Why not?
Why not? You did.
Again.
I know.
Penis face is a
Wasn't
great.
Wasn't the one rule which we don't say penis?
No, we don't
Face.
say boobies.
Oh,
Face.
that's right.
I thought we didn't say cunt.
No,
No, we
That's
don't
right,
say
ladies
that.
and
That is
gentlemen, we
how
are
we'll
all
go.
12-year-olds.
Right, I say that. Kevin, sin bin, 30 seconds now.
Mr. Victory would like us to give his little girl her favorite Del Cow.
Absolute rebel.
All right, I think we got that in pretty good. All right.
Yes.
Absolutely.
I got nudged in the background because I totally goofed and forgot to put the idiot report in between the videos, and I'm wondering if we shouldn't cut to that before it gets a little too on in time here. What do you guys say? Should we just interrupt this bullshit and throw the idiot report on for a good
Absolutely,
go?
because that is absolutely pointless drivel in itself. As Dell would say, no.
Let's kick it in. So, Tatty, you want to let it rip for us, buddy?
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Shills Halftime Idiot Report. This is Babes Troglodyte reporting from a channel called Enter the Stars, who finds evil everywhere. This time it's with the game of baseball. Yep, that's what I said, folks. Baseball is evil.
Hey guys, Enter the Stars, and we are quite literally stuck in the cube. The cube is the honeycomb and the matrix.
And we're off and running. Cubes are squares in 3 dimensions, and a honeycomb is a hexagon, which means 6 sides. So honeycombs aren't cubes, and the matrix is just a movie.
And this is it, you guys. And I'm going to show you why when you play baseball, it has 8 players and a pitcher in a cube, a diamond, a square.
And that's it, guys. Enter the Stars is a whack job who can't tell the difference between a hexagon and a square. But let's just see what he has to say about baseball.
The only way to escape the baseball diamond is in the dugout, the grave.
What? Are you going with a Halloween theme here? Dude? What? Dugouts are graves. For fuck's sake! Last time I checked, baseball players weren't being buried in the dugout.
And here you see it play out literally before your eyes. You see the cube being locked in the cube beneath the firmament, which is the grass line.
The grass line isn't a firmament. The baseball diamond isn't the flat earth. It's just a game.
Atop the convex lens pitcher's mound, which is just like the inner eye. You are looking at the inner eye.
You're looking at the inner eye. No, I'm looking at a fucking pitcher's mound, dude.
The pitcher's sole purpose being to send you to the pit of hell, to send you to the grave, to send you to the dugout.
No, the pitcher's purpose is to keep you from hitting the ball. They don't shoot you for striking out, although some fans might find that more exciting.
So that you stay locked in the matrix, locked in the cube, instead of hitting a home run. But here's the problem with this whole scenario, is that when you hit a home run, you start all over again. You go back to the dugout. You go back to the grave.
The problem with this idea is that you're pulling it out of your ass. No wonder your ideas stink.
And you could even postulate that the path of the baseball thrown from the pit, from the devil, thrown from the pit to try to strike you out, to X out, to mark you with the strike in your pineal gland, to be full of darkness, your lamp of your body full of complete darkness instead of the light.
A minute ago, you said the pit was the dugout, and now it's the pitcher's mound. Make up your mind. Some pitchers are so good at their job that the opposing team thinks of them as the devil, but they're really just men.
It is why when you play pool, billiards, there's an 8-ball.
Well, that's a complete non sequitur. You went from baseball to billiards. How does that work?
It is why when you play playing cards, their standard length is 88 millimeters.
That's another non sequitur. Going from playing cards to billiards to baseball. And what does 8 millimeter have to do with baseball anyway?
And this just goes on and on and on.
Just like this dumbass video. It's time to wrap this up, folks. I can't take it anymore. This is just a pseudo-religious occultist looking for evil in everything. Baseball is just a game, and sometimes a cigar is just a cigar. This has been Babes Troglodyte reporting, and now back to you, Dick, and the Shills live show.
Oh, yeah, that was awesome.
I tell you what,
Oh, well
that's an
done,
absolute work of fucking genius video. One of the best videos in a long time, and that needs to go viral.
That was great.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
That hurt. I was laughing so hard, man.
What
I can't
a
believe what we
moron.
just saw.
Can I just say, just because Babes didn't bring it up, I have to. Anytime a conspiratard references the Matrix, I have to point out that most conspiratards are anti-trans, and the Matrix was made by the Wachowski brothers, who are now the Wachowski sisters.
Sisters, yeah.
Fuck.
Good point. Oh man, is Steve, Geo? Did you guys survive that? You okay?
We're managing. We're coping.
So a cube is a hexagon suddenly? What the fuck?
Yeah, it's unbelievable.
Insane,
Oh man.
Well, what do you say to that, man? That was incredible. We've hit a point where my brain really hurts. Thoughts by Jay Brown said he wore right through his oven mitt there and smacked himself in the eye. He's got a black one now, so we apologize for that. We didn't really know it was going to go that deep. That was amazing. As we get around to a close here and we start, coming to the end of the evening, who's got thoughts on what we saw or anything they
what
want
we saw
what they're doing?
and what
What's that,
we
Monkey?
saw? I'll tell you
Yeah.
what, like that first video was just a big pile of underwear at the end of the day. I mean, absolute monkey spunk dribble. He didn't know what he was reading. He was reading it out and trying to make it sound like, I don't know what he was trying to get out of it, but he was trying to make it sound like something and appeal to someone. Who that really was, he was trying to appeal to, and what he was trying to get out of it, I don't know. He didn't understand what he was reading, and I don't think any of the viewers that he aimed that video at would understand what he was reading either. So
no.
But as for Babe's Troglodyte, that was one of the funniest videos I have seen in a long, long time. And well done, Babes. Wish you were here. Love that. Brilliant. I might even mirror it. Fuck it.
Yeah. That was awesome. I have to agree. Absolutely. Absolutely. Let me just get my list up here and see who I should be going at. I haven't heard anything too much out of Anti-Flatter in a bit. What are your thoughts on all this stupid tonight, buddy?
Well, what much more can be said? I mean, as far as intelligence concerned, I'm sure these two got negative scores on their IQ tests.
Actually, they just think that they are negative scores, but actually it's just 10 to the power of minus 15.
I mean, these are the
Good
type
one,
of
good
fuckers
one.
that are going to fail recess.
Yeah, miserably.
It's pathetic. We're really starting to scrape the bottom of the barrel now, aren't we?
Bottom of the fucking barrel, mate. We've dug through the barrel. We're scraping at the floor now.
That's a good way to put it. Hey, Dead Kennedy in Space, what are your thoughts on the evening there and what we've experienced and had to go through?
Yeah, it's very bottom of the barrel. Just that first video was mind blowing because it was like watching a Harmony Korine movie. It was so bad. But in regards to the idiot report, I do want to mention, we haven't established the most important fact though, which is who's on first.
I don't know. Third base. No, we're not talking about him. Good one. Hey, Logical. What about yourself, man? What are you thinking?
I'm thinking I'm going to have a conversation with AB Science and Professor Philip Bill, and because I have a hypothesis that if we wire all the conspiratard skulls together, that we can finally tap into 0 point energy.
I love it.
Oh no. Oh no.
That's awesome, man. How about you, Barman? What are your thoughts?
I'm just so confused about these 3 videos I just watched. It's like, what the fuck has just happened? My brain is melted. I am very confused, very scared for my life. It's like, oh God.
What?
You waking myself up.
Happy Halloween, Barman.
Oh, no doubt. It is. And just to think that, 50,000 subs there on Studdle and Mumbleboy. Come on. That was insane. Like, wow, that's crazy. Stephen Cupareason, what are you thinking, buddy?
Pipe me and say that someone said about Halloween, we should do a Halloween Shills special.
Yeah.
One in the chat, if you think so, man.
Absolutely, man. Like, do something spooky, Halloween style. Let's have a Halloween party on the Shills. What do you reckon?
Yeah,
Are you up for it?
Anybody watching, put in the chat if you want to have a Halloween special, if we should do a stream for Halloween.
Yes.
Yeah, perfect. All right.
The rhyme.
Yeah. Steaming Cup of Reason. What about you for the wrap up there, buddy?
Well, that first video, it was like watching a dog with mental disability just spinning around trying to find a place to piss. The guy was just totally lost. The second one, seeing religious symbols and geometric shapes in microbes, I don't know. And then babes. What the fuck with the honeybee comb? Does that mean the honey I put in my tea is devil's blood? What the fuck? I mean, jeez. Holy shit, man. This world is so full of stupid. It's unbelievable, man.
Well said. Well said. It is crazy. I mean, how are you supposed to? Well, we tried, so you know what I mean. Hey, Tatty, what about yourself, man? What are your thoughts on this evening's proceedings?
This has been one big bucket of fuck duggery, man, I tell you. It has been immense, even just finding these things. Never mind the pleasure of inflicting it on yous.
You've got a sadistic mind, Tattie-Bogle. We got a super chat. We got a super chat.
All right, who wants to read that out?
It's in there to Jimmy Callanan, C4.
Oh.
Great show as always. Love you all. Hashtag wrench ugly German truths. Don't fucking give that out, Wrench. We got another one.
Absolutely.
Again. Oh, thank you so much. Someone else want to take this?
Hey, Dick, why don't you take this next one?
All right, John Rapp, $5 Australian. Test, PENIS, faces. Yup. Even Super Chat won't accept a bloody body part term. Like ass and dick fucking fuck. Tried or tricked you, prude.
Yeah, you did trick you fucked up.
I can trust an Aussie.
That is cool. Thanks, John.
Oh, thank you guys. That is awesome,
thank you,
man.
C4.
I'm so touched that you do that for us.
All right, then let's get to Aimee and see what's going on her side of our.
Yeah, this was something else. I can tell you that right now. It's just wow. I'm speechless because these guys were so stupid. I'm sorry, I don't normally talk like that, but they were dumb. And I want to again thank everyone for coming and thank you for all the comments. And I tried to get to as many as I possibly could. And thank you for your patience. And I want to thank GeoStreber and Steve for coming on. Thank you so much for being here with us. Thank you, everybody.
All right. And speaking of our most excellent guest, Geo, your thoughts and wrap-ups for the night, buddy?
So that first video was absolutely incredible. just in terms of filming and his way of trying to actually pass on an idea to us. Not only the amount of idiocy, but also the amount of incompetence was just flabbergasting. Yeah, and the second guy was just batshit crazy.
Yeah, well said. Well said. What do you think, in the whole scheme of things when it comes to the conspiracy theorists and whatnot? Some of the ones coming in that are newer and, these more fringe guys, they get real crazy these days, don't they?
Yeah, that's an understatement. I think I would need a lot more letters behind my name to help with what's wrong with these boys.
No doubt. And let's turn to Steve McRae here. What are your thoughts and expressions on the evening, man?
I would have to say that the first guy was basically confused as shit. The second guy was just talking shit, and the third guy didn't understand shit. And the first guy was actually trying to take a shit, but I don't think he ever got to it.
Oh, well said, man. What do you think? Do you think over the last 20 years, conspiracy theorists have gotten worse overall, and deeper and thicker in the way that they sort of have they sort of approach just taking it further and further into new areas?
To a degree. I mean, I do think that a lot of this go hand in hand with mental illness, and I don't say that flippantly. I really do believe a lot of these people have severe mental disorders that need to have addressed. And I think that because this types of conspiratorial stuff is so easily accessed, and it doesn't take a real genius to understand conspiracy theories. I mean, you basically throw shit against the wall, somebody come over and just look it up, right? I mean, it doesn't really take a really intelligent person to spew shit that some other person who doesn't really understand the topics is going to come along and say, you know what, that makes good enough sense to me, because they don't have the prerequisite critical thinking skills and exacerbated by mental illness. So I think that the fact that YouTube makes these things so prevalent, this is what we see more of. Right. So it may look like it's getting worse, but it's probably always been out there in one form or another. It's just that it's just one incarnation after another. Right now, it happens to be flat earth, chemtrails, and all those other happy horseshit conspiracy theories. But back in my day, it was like 9/11 was big. That's kind of died off. It's still there. But in another couple years, there'll be other reincarnations.
Can I ask the guests a question?
Please.
How long have you guys been into this, to the extreme of globe denial as a...
Well, I shake a lot of night
How
and
long?
drool, so probably too long.
How long?
As soon as I lay awake at night and I just kind of like drool and shake a lot, I could say quite for some time. I got on YouTube about 6 years ago, but I've always been in the sciences since I was a kid. But 6, 7, maybe longer than maybe about 7 years ago, and then I got fortunate enough to have a discussion with Hovind, and at that point I was like, okay, this is just beyond stupid. This has to be changed.
So how long have you been tackling globe denial, or in your
That
case,
was about maybe 4 or 5 years. I mean, since I met Rez Rhetoric, I kind of left it all up to him. But we kind of dive into each other's topics occasionally. And so when I started diving into the flat Earth, and I would go to Rez Rhetoric's hangout, I'd be like, these guys can't be real. This can't. And then some of them were. Some of them, Anthony Riley, that dude is legit as shit. But they're ignorant, and they decide to be ignorant, mostly for the fact that I think that they want to believe something that nobody else knows about. They want to feel special, right?
I agree.
Yeah.
Like they just want to be a part of this clan.
Yeah, well,
regardless.
they're too dumb
It's
to
just
actually
like
do it.
some warped little fantasy to just get sucked into, whether you actually truly believe what you're saying or not. But it's like a cult. It's like a, for some people it must be like that. The shape of the Earth is irrelevant. Actually, it's just flat Earth.
It's just a vehicle.
Dr. Kruger calling Dr. Kruger.
I'm convinced that for the vast majority of them, it is just a vehicle for them to try to feel superior, because in any other regard, they can't. They are not smart compared to many other people. They're not normatively intelligent. They have no ability to understand even the most basic of conceptual issues. So they have to feel like they're special by thinking to themselves, hey, I know something that all these smart people don't. Therefore, I'm special, and I'm better than them, and I'm smarter than they are, even though they've got their letters in front of their name and they've read things called books and things like that.
Yeah. Do you know the funny thing is, you say that they want to know that they're special, and what they actually don't realize is what they know, but they don't understand is the fact that they are so stupid, regardless of what they're thinking, just to be a part of this absolute idiocy.
But they don't care that they look stupid. To them, to these people that actually believe it, they think that we're the idiots, right? They think that we're too stupid to see what's so obvious to them, because they're operating at a very base level.
Yeah.
Just don't get it. I really don't.
Logical has a little announcement he wants to make to everybody before we get the final wrap up done here. I should let Logical Troglodyte in.
Oh, yeah. In just under 5 hours at midnight Central Time, 0600 British Time, we will be having episode 4 of Logic and Reason on the Logic and Reason channel. We will be discussing the conspiracy claim that rockets do not work in a vacuum, part 1 of a multi-part series that will be addressing the whole idea of space is fake. Joining us will be Jeff from Steaming Cup of Reason. He is my co-host every time we have the show. Great guy. And Blue Marble Science and Reds Rhetoric will be joining us.
That's going to be awesome.
You got
a great show.
How'd you get Reds? Reds don't even do my stuff anymore.
Oh, I had to get him poked by a few other people before he finally contacted me. He probably didn't even know who in the hell is this Logical Troglodyte.
I'm one of his
Oh,
besties, and he doesn't come on
The
my shit any
current
longer.
caveman.
Yeah, well, that's a good
that's
thing
a
about being a
great
shill. You know, that's a good thing about being a shill. I know people that know people that know people.
I know people that
Yeah.
know somebody else that has a friend twice removed.
And you know a monkey.
Oh, right on, guys. So I want to say a big thanks to GeoStreber for being on the show with us. Thank you so much, buddy. That was amazing. Big thanks to Steve McRae for joining us again. Great show tonight. That was amazing. And everybody else watching, thank you so much. And for the super chats and new subscribers, we love you guys. That's fantastic. Awesome. Awesome. So remember, people, pseudoscience is like a fucking disease, and it can get into your brain and infect you to the level unheard of by stupid. Make sure you protect yourself. Get down to a library and get yourself inoculated. Read a fucking book. It could save your life. On that, what do you say, folks? We're out of here. Let's say goodnight. Goodbye.
Catch you on the flip side.
Good night, guys.
Thank you.
Doodles.